Hello, I'm Laura. It's November 5th, 2025, and this is the Wednesday Heartwarmer of today's Heartlines. Our theme this week for Heartlines is the beauty of life, and we are going to take a specific look at that by looking at the beauty of generosity. The generosity of the human spirit is something amazing. It comes through in the most difficult times when we are there for each other. And right now, in the United States, and I'm sure in other places in the world, we are facing some of those difficult times as people are facing the possibility of going hungry. We are in the midst of the longest shutdown of our government in U.S. history. And the SNAP benefits have been temporarily suspended. They are the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program for people. But the current administration has said they will fund SNAP again after they have been ordered by the court to do so. And they're doing it at almost half of what they normally would be paying SNAP at $4.65 billion versus $8 billion. And they said this could take several weeks to several months. In the meantime, people are going hungry. So the generosity of the human spirit has kicked in, and that is the heartwarmer, because the increase in food donations or donations for food has gone up 587%, as individuals and states as a whole have chosen to give more, have chosen that path of generosity. And what is generosity? Generosity is going beyond what you would normally give to reach out and touch the lives of others. So the states of Virginia, Louisiana, New Mexico, California, New York, Minnesota, and Maryland, as well as others, are giving state funds to feeding people. And people are getting together and giving food in grocery stores. And many organizations have taken up the call to feed people. So whether or not you are going to a food resource to feed your family, or you are giving to a food resource to feed others, you are making a positive difference through your generosity. And that generosity comes in 4 ways, as illustrated by a universal story told in all 4 Gospels in the New Testament. And that is the story of the feeding of the multitudes, where Jesus and the disciples went into a deserted place, but they were followed by a huge crowd. Well, first of all, they had to give up the idea of getting away by themselves for a respite and taking care of the crowd. That's what we call selfless service. Then Jesus asked, where are we to buy bread for these people to eat? He asked his disciples to see if they could figure that out. But they said, hey, we don't have enough money. You know, even with a multitude of donations and money, we don't have enough to feed the 5,000. So Jesus said, have everyone sit down and we'll do something special. So the problem had been named. The naming of the problem was feeding the multitudes. Then Jesus accessed the supply, the divine supply. And how did he do it? Not by mentalizing and figuring out where to get food and how much money it would take, although that is a positive thing to do, but by starting with an attitude of gratitude, by giving thanks for the few loaves and the few fishes that were made available. And then what happened? was that the people were fed and then some, with 12 baskets left over. Thus, results were produced. Some scholars say the results came from the fact that people do carry food with them anyway when they make a trek to see great speakers, while others say it was simply a miracle. In either case, it was a miracle of the human spirit through generosity. And we're going to access our generosity right now by taking a deep breath and closing our eyes and focusing on this idea. I am grateful for the ability to make a positive difference in my life and world. I am grateful for the ability to make a positive difference in my life and world. And so it is. So selfless service, naming the problem, accessing the supply, and producing the results. SNAP, another way of bringing forth SNAP. So let's snap to it in our own awareness and look to where our generosity can go just beyond where it normally would as we give to others and enrich ourselves. Have a wonderful day.